It's Caitlin, and today I'm going to be talking about my most anticipated releases of 2020. I have compiled this list from sequels and conclusions, and I also found this website online that has all of the YA 2020 releases. So I went through that website, and I'm sorry, my cat just jumped up on my lap. Found some really good releases that sound amazing, and I really want to read them. So without further ado, let's just get into it because I have like 13 books that I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to do it in the order that they're going to out. So there are two books that are coming out on the same day, January 7th, that I am extremely excited about. And one of them is Scavenged the Stars by Tara Sim. Tara Sim has written the Timekeeper series, and I am so excited to read it, but for some reason I just have not picked it up yet. But I am so excited to, and I hope this is not another one of those. But I'm really excited to read her work, and this book just sounds so amazing. This book is about this girl who has been captive for years, and she rescues someone from drowning, and from what I take of it, she receives a lot of money for doing this, and the only thing she wants to do with this money is seek revenge for the person that has held her captive for all these years. It sounds really good, and I'm really excited to read it, so I cannot wait for that to come out on January 7th. The next book that's coming out on January 7th as well is How to Speak Boy by Tiana Smith. This book is about these two characters who absolutely despise each other because of competition, but their teacher swapped their papers in their cubbies. So they've been exchanging letters with each other, and through those letters, they're really finding out about each other, and they're left with the incredible decision of whether they want to further their friendship or continue on with the competition and just forget about their friendship that they have established through these letters with each other. I'm not the biggest fan of contemporaries, but I've been trying to get more into them. After reading Everything this past month, I have kind of found a new love for them, and I'm always up for a cheeky little romance, so it sounds like something that would be right up my alley. So again, I have two books coming out January 14th that I'm really excited for. The first one is Infinity Sun by Adam Silvera. I haven't read anything by Adam Silvera, but just a pure synopsis of this book sounds absolutely amazing. From what I gather about this book, it is about two brothers who end up getting caught up in this war that has been in the making for generations, and that just sounds like a very compelling plot, and I'm very excited to read about it. Plus, I've wanted to pick up an Adam Silvera book for a very long time, so that just adds even more excitement to reading this book. The next one, also coming out on January 14th, is in one of my all-time favorite series, but I have been such a slacker and have not read books 2, 3, and 4, but the first one absolutely hooked me and is one of my all-time favorite books. That is The Conference of the Birds by Ransom Riggs, which is the fifth book in Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. And I kind of hate myself that I have not picked up the rest of this series yet, and that the fifth book is coming out without me have even reading the second one. But I think with this fifth one coming out, it's really going to push me to read them because the storyline is great. The pure idea of everything in that book was so well done and such a unique concept that I just want to devour them. But every time I go to my bookshelf to pick another book, I never reach for Hollow City, and I don't know why. So hopefully this is going to push me to finally pick it up. I am so excited for it to come out so that maybe I can just binge the series and just love it even more. The next book that I am extremely excited for is coming out January 21st, and that is The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson, which is the conclusion of the Truly Devious series, and I could not be more excited to read this conclusion. I binged the first two books in about a week, and I have been beating myself up over it because I want that third book in my hand so badly. I had planned to kind of make them last so that I wouldn't be waiting a month before this book came out. But the series, I couldn't do it. It was just too good to just span over the course of a month. So I binged it in a week. But I cannot wait for the third one to come out. I can't wait to see how everything wraps up and how Morgan Johnson concludes this amazing series. The next book that I am extremely excited for is The Queen's Assassin by Melissa De La Cruz. So the first thing I heard about this book was that it was perfect for fans of Sarah J Maas, and I love her writing style and just the concept of all of her books. So I immediately was hooked in on this book. This book is basically about this man who is vowed to the queen to find something that she needs. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's something that she needs, and he's vowed to find it. He is also a very deadly assassin that no one has been able to beat, which already sounds like such a compelling plotline. I am extremely excited to read it. The next book that I am extremely excited to read is Heart of Flames, coming out February 11th. This is the Crown of Feathers sequel. I am currently reading Crown of Feathers, and I am so much in love with it. I cannot wait for the sequel to come out, and cannot believe that I have to wait over a month for it to come out because I don't know how I'm going to, but I'm gonna have to. So the next book that I'm really excited to read is The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. So this book, I only read the first sentence of the synopsis and I was already really wanting to read this. This book is about this girl who has a plan of three things: woo the king, marry him, and kill him. And that was all I needed to know before I pre-ordered this book. And I am very excited to read it. So this next book is probably my most anticipated book of 2020, and that is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in the Last Hours series, which follows the children of the Infernal Devices, which I just read for the second time in November, and I love every character in that series more than I did the first time, which I didn't even think was possible. Infernal Devices has my entire heart, and just the idea of following a trilogy by my favorite author, following the children of one of my favorite trilogies, I absolutely cannot wait for this book to come out. It is coming out March 3rd, and I have had it pre-ordered since the day I was able to have it pre-ordered. The next book that I am extremely excited to read, purely because of the fact that I have found a new love for mystery books, is Deadly Curious, which is coming out April 14th. This book is set in 1834, and it is about this woman who has this huge dream to become a detective. But since it is set in 1834, women being a detective wasn't ever a thing. But when she gets a letter in the mail from her cousin telling her that her cousin's brother has just been killed, and her cousin wants her to figure out who did it, or at least look into it, and it may be just the break that she needs. This next book is coming out May 12th, and that is House of Dragons. This book is Three Dark Crowns Meet the Breakfast Club with Dragon, which sound absolutely incredible to me. It is about these five people who are all competing for a trial in the Dragon Throne. The next book on this list is The Paper Girl of Paris, which is a historical fiction set in Paris. This book is about this girl who her grandmother just died, and her grandmother left her an apartment in Paris that has been locked for 70 years. And as she tries to figure out more about this apartment and more about her grandmother, she finds out that her family is keeping a ton of secrets from her, even now that her grandmother is dead. And the last book on this list is Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahern, which is the sequel to Serpent and Dove. This book is set to come out in September. I loved Serpent and Dove, so knowing that there is a sequel coming out, I just cannot wait 9 more months to get my hand on it. I can't wait to see what she does with this plot line and just how she develops the story even further. So that is all of my anticipated releases of 2020. I know it was a very long list, but I am so excited for this year coming up, and I cannot wait to delve into all of these books and more on my crazy TBR. But Thank you guys for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful new year. You can hit that red subscribe button and hit the bell so that you know every single time that I post. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!